Hello and what is up YouTube? My name is G3Iron and typically we would normally be having a discussion at this point in time about how GGG doesn't nerf things during the league, but they do bug fixes. That being said, that's the typical pattern of development at Grinding Gear Games, and that is a pattern of development that is taking a hard 180 because we just now, a few minutes ago, got the following news from Bex regarding the various aura stacking builds that are cropping up all over the place, left and right. I had said I wasn't going to do anything on this topic this week, but when we've got major news like this that is a massive change in philosophy, I feel like we've got to cover it, and we've got to cover it quick. So here's the situation. A whole bunch of players are using Purposeful Harbinger and some of the new notables in order to stack up builds that are virtually unkillable. We're talking about builds that are getting 90% elemental resistances along with 90% physical resistances, while still doing a crap ton of damage and scaling that damage to nearly infinitum. So that's the situation of where we were in, and GGG and Bex had posted and said, look, we don't nerf stuff during the league, but we do bug fixes. That being said, she's now gone back in and commented on a thread where she's clarified some more. So here's the official news from Bex herself. Hey everyone, so I did previously post that we wouldn't be changing this mid-league, but the team has discussed it further and they realized that it's breaking a lot of game systems. All of the things internally that are counted as auras but aren't presented to players as auras are affected by this. I'll let you know once I've been told what the exact change is, but it looks like it'll be fixed in a day or two with an upcoming patch. Somebody else responded, Sarah has said, while I completely agree that it breaks a lot of things and is 100% deserving of a nerf, you specifically said it would not be touched and people acted on that information. I do not think it's fair to say A and do B. Bex then clarifies, I'm really sorry about that. I understand how much it would suck to invest into this and then have it taken away through no fault of your own, especially if you were given the official go-ahead. We try really hard to avoid mid-league nerfs, but this case completely breaking the game because it affected values that it should not be able to affect. So essentially Bex is clarifying and saying, no, actually this is a bug. Things that aren't auras are counting as auras. I am personally disappointed by this because I really hate telling you one thing and then it becoming another. But the design team needs to be able to make the choice they feel is best for the game. I try really hard to make sure I'm giving you information you can count on, and I'm so sorry that it turned out differently in this scenario. That is the official post from Bex, and honestly, I am not shocked at this at all. It is not surprising whatsoever because this build needed to be nerfed. This build specifically being the Guardian stacking version of auras. So a whole bunch of ascendancy nodes on the Guardian are counting as auras, even though we as players don't necessarily know that or count towards that in the aura bar or in the aura notifications bar. And so that is a very, very confusing mechanic. It makes sense from a design perspective that that's a bug or that's an unintended interaction. Nonetheless, this whole scenario does kind of suck in the midst of a whole bunch of different history of OP immortal builds. A lot of them didn't get nerfed during a league. This one seems to be that it's getting nerfed directly and specifically because it is an interaction that wasn't originally intended and therefore is being classified as a bug. Feel free to leave your rage comments down below, and we'll know if you're raging, it's because you've probably just built this or bought into it heavily. And of course, if you didn't buy into this heavily, then good for you. Enjoy playing Path of Exile the way how the design team is hoping that it should be played, with builds that don't necessarily trivialize the entirety of the game. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Feel free to drop your rage comments down below. I'm G3Iron, and we'll be back again in a day or two with other non-aura OP breaking, game-breaking stuff.
Thanks for watching that video. If you'd like more information on any of our discussion points today, you can see them down below in the video description. If you'd also like to join our Discord or support our Patreon, you can do so with the links down below. Thanks again, and big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters.